Already started. Ooh, do I have an alfalfa or what? I went out into public with my hair looking like that. See how confident I am in my eyebrows? Good morning. Or whatever morning, whatever time of day it is where you are. I'm here in the morning. Laura GV. Laura G. Gibbons Vo. Yo. What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, do I have the right glasses on? I do have the right glasses on. Okay, yes, because I can read your good morning. So nice to see you. Alrighty, I'm getting myself all situated here. Hope you are as well. We got Laura and Desconocido, Des, Piri, and Spreading Sunshine, and Becky. Nice to see you. As other people tune in, I wish everybody well, even if I don't mention your name. Amy from Miami. I'm going to Miami. Mary Lou. Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. I crack myself up. Because if you can't crack yourself up, you can't crack anybody else up, right? So good morning. What do we get going on here? So it is 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, September 26th. Notice how I did that without even looking at the calendar? I'm here for an hour. Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. So Beth, Destination Declutter, Decluttering Life Coach, ID Princess, good morning. Good morning to you too. And I literally was going to look for where I used to have my map of the U.S. with my time zones to try to figure out what time it is for you. But this is a little bit more civilized for you. Me showing up at 11 is your like what, 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that. So nice to see you. And what was I just thinking? Laura Gibbon Voorhees. Oh yeah, so no glasses on yet. Yeah, I just had to make sure I had my correct ones. Damn it, Donna. Nice to see you. Farm Girl, okay, good stuff. People tuning in. Farm Girl, nice to see you as well. Oh, Shanana, glad you're tuning in. So here's a fun thing. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is offering, did I even finish introducing my own self? I don't know. I'll just get that out of the way. Hello, hello. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. I help you declutter your life, and I coach people how to declutter your life. Decluttering life coach. And my coaching has a name. The name of my coaching is called Destination Decluttered, because I travel a lot, and that concept of a destination and a road trip changed my life, and I want to help you too. Okay? I love this, Farm Girl. Got my headphones on so I can really absorb your messages. That's great. Excluding the audio distractions is a big topic of conversation in this house today. So I love that you're doing that. So I'm here to help you if you struggle with clutter, if you want to get some tips and stuff, but also so you know you're not alone if you're cluttered. Okay, totally great for ADD, 100%. I was thinking today earlier in a certain situation, well, maybe I can just wear earbuds, but I realized it wouldn't work. So yes, decreasing the distraction of any of your environments is going to help you more easily focus. But here, before I forget, because it's getting up thread, because everybody's saying hello, Laura Gibbon Voorhees discovered, I love discovering, that a friend makes new greeting cards from recycled old ones. So now Laura has a destination for her old cards that she feels good about, kind of like a destination vacation, of which every vacation should be a destination vacation, because you should be enjoying where you should be looking not just ahead towards travel, but forward towards what you're aiming for. So Laura says, discovered a friend makes new greeting cards from recycling old ones, so she's being able to declutter her stash. I love it. What a cool thing. If anybody else has collected and not recycled greeting cards, perhaps somebody you know, you could just throw a line out to people. Does anybody that we know locally, you say to your friend group, do you know anybody who crafts or does something with already sent greeting cards, because maybe you could find a good way to declutter those if you have a stash of them. You never know the ways in which you can easily, kind of do things like that. Okay? Very cool. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Judy. Speaking of interesting ways to declutter things, I just want to check one thing, okay? So discuss amongst yourself. I'm going to try something here and just see what I got going on. All right. All right, so the funny thing is there we go. Okay, Judy says teachers use the cards with pictures for kids. Okay, cool. Twintastic, good morning from Rhode Island. I raise my coffee milk to you with autocrat syrup. Nice to see you. I'm drinking tea myself. I'm a tea drinker. I'm a tea drinker, and I'm here to help you with your clutter. Okay? One of the things I was going to offer, I was going to look it up, but it's going to take a little bit too different. But I'm just going to throw it out there. If you have T-shirts that you no longer wear, but you want to keep like the artwork from it, a number of years ago, and it's been so long that I don't even know how many years ago it is. I can't even find like my paper trail for it. But I had a couple of quilts made. And they're not big quilts that you feel obligated to put on the bed. No. They're like little, what do you call them? Like a little lap blanket. And it's Project Repat. Project Repat helps do that. Okay? So in case anybody's looking to declutter T-shirts that you don't wear anymore, that have gotten too, faded or too small or too big or too not like the way you want them, that's a way of doing that too. Uh-huh. Hey there, Lou. Good morning from California. I'm stopping in for a minute. There you go. Thanks for saying hi. There we go. Twintastic says, I actually make quilts and lap blankets. Be careful what you wish for. People here might be throwing, sending their T-shirts to you. I love it. There we go. Cat Roby's in the house. Now, everybody knows what Cat Roby does, but for those newbies, a couple of things we do here. Now, the decluttering TikToks that I do, they're usually about an hour long, so I'm here for another 52 minutes. And what I always want to remind you of is the three steps. One is checking in with your body and making sure you're feeling good physically. Do a scan, as I like to say, from the crown on down, and make sure you're feeling pretty good. If you're not, go do something about it right now. I'm not looking at you. You can stretch. You can go to whatever it's going to be. The second one is, part of your physical body is your nervous system. So check in with your nerves. Are you feeling nervous? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling meh? Are you feeling wound up or wound down? And notice where you are in kind of those levels and do something. And I always suggest, breathing, drinking water, slowing down. Do something to make your nervous system feel better. Okay? The third easy thing to do is to write down stuff. So scan down your body, calm down your nervous system. Oh, it's funny. I don't sell these mugs, so this is not a product placement. But I made this with for myself a number of years ago. Slow down, breathe down, write down, and then chunk down. Okay, so I like to start with that and remind you of that. But also, Cat Roby loves to use this time to focus on getting something done during the time of these lives. It works for her. It might work for you as well. So she says, Cat Roby says, hey ho, scheduled Beth Blinders. SBB is scheduled Beth, because Beth schedules me. I schedule these TikTok lives, and is for a pile of my father's mail. It is 3 inches high, and then I'll schedule tasks from there. So I love the fact that you've already measured 3 inches. So then later on in the process, you can measure again, and maybe it's down to like 1.5 inches. So very cool. Very cool. Alrighty. Teresa says, took a week off my day job to declutter. Did great Monday. Not so great the rest of the week, and I'm mad at myself. Teresa, I offer this with love. Getting mad at yourself is not going to change the time that already passed. Try this on instead. Here, give me that feeling bad hat, and I'm handing you the hat of curiosity. I'm totally just making this up, okay? Put on the hat that sparks the curiosity, and now with that magic hat of curiosity on, look in the rear view mirror to last Tuesday, and say to yourself, well, I guess you could say, what was it about Monday that made it work so well? What was it about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, that didn't feel like Monday? This is when that thing is calming down your nervous system to get out of judgy mode and into curiosity mode, because you're mad at yourself, you're judging yourself. It's not going to help. So do something else. Get curious and then write down what you come up with, okay? It will be enlightening. If you want to share it with me, I can help you walk through it, okay? But to everybody, a lot of what we're doing here is we are disrupting patterns of thinking, which means talking to ourselves in our head, disrupting that pattern of talking to yourself in a head, especially when it gives you a crappy feeling in your heart. So let's stop that. Let's notice it and put up the traffic cop hand and say, no more, no more. But then you can just shut that up. But there's valuable info to learn the words that trigger you. And you may not even realize that, okay? But I just want to offer that because this is what coaching is all about. I do this with my paid one-on-one clients, and I show up here to coach whoever wants free coaching right here, in front of a group. Good morning, Yogini from New York. Nice to see you. Melis says, how can we nervous system get better? Your nervous system, the deal is, to me, this is how I like to explain it, is your nervous system is a valuable part of your experiencing of life. And it is always aware of things. It is always kind of on the lookout, and it is trying to keep you safe. So if you are always if you are always kind of wound up and overwhelmed and anxious, that is always like using a lot of energy. But then and it just keeps you on a certain frequency, let's say, okay? You're always up here, and it's not sustainable, and it's not good long term. This is like, I'm kind of stumbling with this, but I want to make it so it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to me, it's not going to make sense to you. Your nervous system is often looking for fear. It is in fear, and it's looking for danger sometimes. So if it's always hyper vigilant, it's going to exhaust you, because being on that high alert is not sustainable. It's only supposed to be used infrequently. So what we try to do is get off of that kind of wavelength and calm it down, to remind yourself, even right now, sit down, calm down, quiet down, look around. There's nothing to be afraid of right here. And to remind yourself to, instead of living up at that level, practice living at a lower, kind of more organic, safe, feeling good wavelength. By doing that, you still have the opportunity, if you need to be on high alert, to go up there, but you're not like wasting precious resources when there's no threat there. And you feel better when your nervous system is not always hyper aware. Does that help, Melis? I hope it does. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Now, Teresa says, so Teresa looked back with her hat of curiosity that I totally just made up. Teresa says, Monday, my sister was here driving me. Ooh, notice that verb, hun, because I'm all about the words and the verbs and so your sister was driving you. Okay, come on, let's go. That's what I'm kind of assuming. She wasn't necessarily driving, but she was motivating you in a certain way to do things. And then you offer to yourself, I do better with a crunch. Okay? I do as much as possible on my lunch hour. Okay? So I offer to you, notice a couple of things. For everybody who's done this, you need to, if you want to kind of do the long-term declutter, because decluttering does take a while, think of it more like a long road trip, not like a sprint. So if you did a lot on Monday, it only stands to reason that Tuesday you may still have been physically and mentally recovering from what you did Monday. So you may have been tired. So allow yourself the grace of resting, especially if you took a week off from your regular job. Please do not be all work when you're not at work, okay? So plan some fun. And then also think about this too, Teresa. I bet when your sister was over, you guys did a certain layer of clutter that was fairly easy to do. So that layer is gone. So then Tuesday, not only are you tired, but then the next layer doesn't have the easy stuff in it. So you are there alone, tired, with tougher decisions to make. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if you didn't have the same results that you did on Monday, on Tuesday, because the situation was different. Okay? So notice that about the circumstances, the situation. Then don't be mad at yourself. All right? Notice it and do something different next time. Okay? Debbie Gen X, I love this because I too am a Gen Xer. I put that little X, that red X on my thing. I think that's for Gen X. If I write things down, says Debbie, I'm more apt to complete. Yes, there's something about crossing off the tasks. It's like you made a promise to yourself. If you keep it up here, you can easily forget it and you kind of let yourself off the hook. You write it down and it's out of you and into the real world. So I do that too. I'm a big writer-downer-er. I'm a big list maker and a big scheduler. And you know what that means? I'm getting a lot of stuff done. Okay? Okay, so notice this. PM 11208. Patty, I think that's you. Patty, is that you? Patty says, took yesterday as a mental grace space day. I love that. So many changes since March and it caught up with me. Yeah, sometimes you think you're fine, and then things will catch up with you. Okay? And I offer to you, Patty, that is a really good thing. Notice Natalie, when she was talking about nervous system. I almost can't stop functioning at the hyper level. And I will offer this to you, Natalie. You are in the habit of functioning at the hyper level. And you're telling yourself that, so it's giving you very few reasons to kind of downshift. Think about the hyper level. Have you ever been in a car? And this is going to be me. Again, I'm Gen X, so I knew how to drive a standard shift car. I didn't learn for well after I got my license. But have you ever been in the wrong gear in a car and you can feel it? You can hear it, like it's racing, but you're in the wrong gear for the situation. Think about that with your nervous system. That you're like moving slowly, but your gears are in high gear, so they're going like zing, ring, 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 like your RPMs are way up there. Okay, so your brain and your body are kind of the same. All right, your brain and your body are kind of the same. So learn how to downshift into a gear that matches where you're at. You can do it. You can do it. You are just in the habit. And people, we are creatures of habit more than we realize it. Seriously. Okay, so Teresa is also noticing upon hindsight, oh my God, TikTok, will you shut it up? I was sore. Yeah, on Tuesday I was sore. Physically not feeling good. 4 hours of sorting the granddaughter's toys and the spare bedroom. Yeah. So notice you're putting into context. It wasn't that you didn't do things because you're a lazy, good-for-nothing slob that your backseat driver might say. I was tired. I worked real hard that day, and I deserve a break today at McDonald's. Okay? Oh my goodness. I will say, just as a preface, I will be on TikTok doing TikTok lives for as long as it makes sense, but right now it's sending me a lot of irritating messages. Don't forget, we also do lives on YouTube. I'm over there too. Actually, right after this one, at noontime Eastern, I'm going to go over to YouTube. Just reminding you guys, okay? Now, Debbie Gen X is offering, when clearing Mom's house, I froze. This is me, frozen. A friend came over, and with her help, we got the bedroom cleared out. Yeah, freezing, physically, mentally, is a way that you know you're overwhelmed. And my goodness, Debbie Gen X, if you were clearing out your mom's house and your somebody, that can be a lot. I've been there. I have been there. I have done that. Okay? But what I want to offer to you is, isn't it good when you have somebody there with you? And a friend came over, and with her help, we got the bedroom cleared out. When you know you're not alone, when you know you don't have to do it all by yourself, that can remind you that it's easier when you've got help. And you were able to do that with a friend, so I love that. Okie Teacher felt overwhelmed. Okie Teacher says, yesterday I was overwhelmed, so I wrote down my thoughts in my notebook, and it helped a lot. Yeah, my brain was all over the place, and it helped to calm it down. Okay? Now, Joyfully Me says, Debbie, that is me still frozen. So Joyfully Me, everybody, let's do this. Shake. Shake, Sonora, shake. If you're frozen, you're not really frozen. It may feel that way. Let's do the opposite. Remember, like in the 60s, I was just a baby, but they had those like the Frug and the hippie shake and the jerk and the cool jerk and the twist and the swim. Let's do the dance called the opposite. Have some fun. So if you're feeling frozen, let's thaw you out. Let's warm you up. The mashed potato, right, Lucy Lou? You've got So move your body. You got the monkey? Yep. You got the pony? You're doing the twist? So do the opposite. So Joyfully Me, if you want some joy, seriously, get up. This is the great thing about you guys being on that side of the connection and me being here. The only screen you see is me. So feel free to just kind of loosen up and get the nervous system kind of being like, wait, what are we doing? I'm used to being here and frozen and staying frozen. Nah, we're interrupting that. We're doing something different. We're doing the opposite. Instead of doing the freeze dance, we're doing the move around dance. Okay? Why the hell not? Let's make it fun. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be so serious. I'm frozen. Then thaw out. Put on something good. You guys can put on music. Every single one of you could put on some sort of dance music, and you could be dancing around here and get your body moving. Yeah. Okay. I go into my mom's room, and I see her in everything, and then freeze and leave it. I feel so overwhelmed. Now, I'm not making light of it by saying you should just shake it off. No. But I'm saying notice overwhelm is showing up by making you feel frozen. And notice when you feel frozen, you stop at a certain point. Joyfully Me, I will just offer what I can imagine might be happening to you, and I don't know because I'm not in you, but what I'm thinking is you're grieving your mom's absence. And your nervous system's reaction is to stop and freeze you and back out of the room before you start crying. Before you start feeling the feelings. What I offer is kind of in the opposite way. Notice, if you freeze and you're not feeling anything and you back away, maybe experiment with this. Go into the mom's room, unfreeze, cry your eyes out, and then stay in there and cry your eyes out, and then leave it. Yeah. Triasa says, go in that room and be in remembrance of her, feeling her and everything. Feel your mom consoling you when you're in that room, if you're crying. She would probably say words of comfort, and she would probably calm down you like a little kid, like we all should calm down our own nervous systems. She would get you in a hug, so go there and put yourself in a hug. She would whisper and go, shh. And she would let you know that everything's okay. Everything's okay. Your mom still lives in your heart. she would say, it's okay. It's all right. Nothing's wrong here. Yeah. She would be so mad that I'm not moving. She hated the clutter. Joyfully me, I will offer this to you, okay? So my dad passed 15 years ago. And one of the things that really helps me to this day is to realize that my dad was doing the best he could with what he had, awareness-wise, training-wise, on this planet. So, however, I choose to imagine him having passed as he has become enlightened. And what do I mean by that? He gets it. He knows that the clutter doesn't matter. He understands why I'm doing the things I am. He's not judging me, he's loving me. So your mom is in the place of pure love. She's in heaven, and I'm not religious. So when I say this, you know it's something. She is at a good place. Your mom is now pure love. So she loves you even when there is the clutter there. She gets it. She sees why you're struggling with the clutter, and she doesn't want you to struggle. And if you are thinking of her hating you because of the clutter is making you struggle, she doesn't want that. Okay? So think about your mom just loving on you, even if she wasn't like that while she was here on the planet. You know, that has helped me. Okay? Teresa, who is battling stage 4 cancer, hun, my heart goes out to you, and thank you. Notice you're battling cancer and you're helping somebody else. How awesome. Okie Teacher says to Joyfully Me, I did that the other day at my childhood home. I felt so much better after I had a good cry. Feel free to ugly cry. Nobody sees you. Yeah, I had bottled up many emotions, said Okie Teacher, and they needed to get out. Yeah, a lot of ungood things can happen to all of us if we try to keep our emotions away, like down, tamped down in a bottle. If you let them out, you will feel better. You will feel that release. I mean, imagine it. It's like a bottle of tonic, you know? You shake it up, but the cap's still there. As soon as something pops, if you don't watch it, it's going to explode. Okay? So Joyfully Me, I just offer that honestly with like love in my heart to you, from one human to another, from one daughter to another. And you're not alone in this. Okie Teacher is going through a similar thing. She and her family have to put her mom in a home. I believe she's there already. And they are now cleaning out the childhood home. It can feel like a lot. So when it feels like a lot, don't try to do a lot. Just try to do a little. Give yourself grace all over the place. You know? So offer to that. Yeah, Elle is offering Carolyn Cohenline's Clearing Clutter as a Sacred Act. Has some great chapters on loss. You might want to read that book. So there's help out there. You're not alone. Okay? Take care of yourself. Your mom loves you, even with the clutter. Now shifting gears a little bit, because we don't always hang out in the deep end of the pool, but we sometimes do. Back to Laura Given Voorhees. She went through her stash of saved greeting cards. Even found an old card storage box I can give the stuff to my friend in. So notice ways that you can declutter the feel good. And another thing. Yeah. Now, Danielle says, my friend is coming over after work and I wish my home was already all decluttered and neat. Okay, so Danielle, I don't know what your schedule is between now and when your friend comes over, but you might be able to do a little surface area pick-me-up. But I will share with you people. Okay? I will share with everybody. If your friends judge you for your clutter, they're not your friends. So you're probably judging yourself, Danielle, more harshly than your friend is. And if your friend is judging you harshly, question why you hang out with somebody who's a harsh judger. Okay? It isn't horrible. We'll have to panic clean at lunch. You know what's fun? I literally misread that. I thought you were going to picnic. You were going to picnic clean at lunch. Yeah. Do not panic clean. How about this? Notice the panic. The fear that your friend won't like you anymore if your house is messy. The fear will cause the panic. Danielle, I just offer this to you. Okay? And I say to you, trust that your friend will like you. And when you trust and you lean into that, you can still do some cleaning, but it's not in a panic. It's not with your nervous system all raised up in fear. It's like, okay, I would like this place to look a little bit better than it does right now when my friend comes over, but I trust that my friend loves me even when I have clutter. Notice the difference. Okay? Now, Cindy C is asking, I have a question. I'm elderly and need to clean out storage units in Texas. Is there help? Cindy C, I don't live in Texas, but I will guarantee that there's help for you. What I will offer, Cindy C, is the best thing to do, because I am a decluttering life coach. I coach people from across the country. I live in Pennsylvania right now myself, so I offer this to you. That is a wonderful question to ask Google, help cleaning out storage unit, insert your town name, Texas, and then Google will come back with people closer to you geographically who can do that. But the answer is yes, there is help. Okay? Yeah. Oh, love gardening. I love this. I'm changing purses right now and using one of Mom's. Yay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, yep. And we all have some of those judgy people that are in our lives, but are they true friends? I don't know. Yeah. Now, here's a fun thing, Mel, and no lie, me too. One way to guarantee my house gets extra attention is to invite people over. I do the same thing. And yet the energy with which I do it is not panic. It's doing it for me. It's enjoying making the place looking a little bit better than I leave it for myself, so that I feel good while I'm doing it. And notice the difference. You can clean and be running around panicky and you're probably going to feel awful. Or you can slow down your nervous system, trust that everything will be okay, still do some cleaning and feel better while you're doing it and after and when your friend is there. It has a much longer lifespan. And yeah, doesn't a picnic clean sound like more fun, Danielle? Maybe what you do during lunch is you order out lunch. You get like something, you can pretend it's a picnic, and you then clean up and have a picnic. Yeah, now Sherry says my house is lived in, and that's true. Yeah. Okay. Oh, funny. Love gardening. Your mom is sending you a laugh. I love this. So Love Gardening was saying she's using her mom's purse. I found a receipt in there. She bought a cane. It makes me laugh because she lost hers. Yeah. So she's sending you a message from the other world, right? Yay. Good stuff. Good people. Cat Roby, I love it. Paula Jean is in Texas. Cindy, okay. Cat Roby's pile is half done. It went from 3 inches to about 1.5. The shredder has been emptied and I'm shredding full envelopes for some of these. I don't need to open some of this stuff. I love it. Good stuff, people. And here's a really neat thing. So Love Gardening, I noticed my accent on the syllable is like, you may love gardening, like you may love the act of gardening. What I love is the idea of having a garden full of love. That you have a garden, that you are gardening the love, that you are planting it, you are nurturing it, you are weeding it, you are encouraging it, you are allowing the love to flourish. What a cool name. Because that's what a lot of this is about, is noticing the opposite. Fear will get you stuck. Love will keep you going. Fear will often be the root cause of whatever ungood thing is happening to you. Fear. Look for the fear, just like you would look for the union label, says this Gen X person who watched too much TV. Look for the fear. If you are stopped in any process, just get curious. If you say there's no fear here, I bet I can find it. There may not be, but more often than not, there is fear that has caused you to stop because you're afraid to move forward because of something. And that's when you actually can benefit from listening to those unhelpful voices in your head. Because if you turn to them, because they're in the back seat, you go, okay, what are we afraid of here? And it can be those core things. I'm afraid my friend won't like me anymore if she sees who I truly am, which is a cluttered person. I'm afraid that my friend isn't my friend and she's going to reveal herself, or he's going to reveal himself by being judgy. I'm afraid I will always be cluttered, and I don't like this feeling, and I don't want to feel this way. I'm afraid that equals fear. So just notice these things. I always plant zinnia in my mom's favorite flowers, and they are spectacular this year. I love it. I love gardeners because I am not a gardener myself. We all have a place in the world. I plant ideas and help them flourish. I plant fun things to grow in my life and to other people's lives. That's what I'm good at, but not so much in the outside. But man, I do love the people. I love a garden when I drive past it. I love going to our local farm stand, and there's little bouquets you can buy. So yay for the gardeners, yay for the helpers, yay for the people who are feeling feelings, yay for the people who are feeling a struggle, but they want to do something about the struggle that they're feeling. That's why we're here. Good morning, Isabella. Nice to see you. So what do we got going on here? It's 11:37 Eastern Time, U.S., on Tuesday, September 7th. I had to look, 16th. I will be here on TikTok doing this TikTok live for another 23 minutes or so. Then I shift gears and I hop over to the other station, which is Channel 56, WSBK Boston. No, it's YouTube. I'm going to do another live on YouTube from 12 noon to 1 p.m. I do many TikTok lives and YouTubes, 2 of them every day, quite often. So if you like what you hear and you want to know when I do them, because they're scheduled at different times, there's an email group that I have that's free. It's low key, but signing up to join that club, whatever, gets you access to what I call the TV guide, the schedule of when I do these lives, if you ever want to tune in again. And if you're interested in that, or finding out about my one-on-one coaching, all that kind of stuff, destinationdecluttered.com is my website. Feel free to check it out and sign up and join in. Okay? What I want to offer to you is, there was something else. Oh, people who are part of the email group now. Couple of cool things. One of the things for the people in the email group, people get invited to decluttering parties. I added another one for Monday, 9/29. It's on the secret page. The other subset of the email group, the Pen Pal Club, I have scheduled a Zoom meet and greet just for the Pen Pal Club. So if you're interested in either of those things, make sure you're part of the email group, okay? And I also have already scheduled on my end the October declutter parties. I will share that info with you all in some emails today, okay? So, Teresa, after this, YouTube. TikTok and YouTube until TikTok goes away, then it will be YouTube. If YouTube goes away, then I'll find a way for us to hang out, but the only people I'll be able to get in touch with to hang out with are the people on my email mailing list. So that's why it helps to join the email club. And I don't sell anything. I don't spam you. I don't sell it because I hate that shit myself, okay? So here we go. I'm backing up a little bit. Margot says, I went into my garage yesterday and set my timer for an hour. Going to do the same thing today. You know why? Because yesterday when she did it, it felt good. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Debbie Gen X says, my gardening skills are lacking. I killed a cactus from not watering enough. I've killed plants before too. It's okay. You have skills elsewhere. Alrighty? Alrighty, 3 cats in a bun. I fear my clutter reflects my mental health. Both need tending to. So you're right. Clutter does affect your mental health, and your mental health does affect your clutter. But you're working on it, my dear. You're working on it. Okay? I love it. You're working on it. Now, here's an interesting thing. So we're talking about planting things in the garden to honor people. So Oki Teacher says, I plant roses and petunias to honor both my grandmothers. I'll share with you. You can love a person and not like what stuff they left you. And sometimes what they leave you is memories of what they liked. So for example, one of my grandmothers liked violets, and I believe that was her middle name. And my other grandmother liked pink geraniums. Now I see them there, and when I see them out in the wild or, in a garden store, I think fondly of my grandmother, but I don't like those in my house. So I don't feel obligated. It doesn't mean I love my grandmothers any less simply because I don't have her things in my home. All right? I just want to offer that to you. Yes, and being afraid of feelings, says Elle, gives them more power than they deserve. Yeah, but it's good to feel the feelings, but realize you can survive feeling a feeling. It's like being through a temporary rainstorm. Okay? Rena says, thank you for doing these lives. Your kindness goes a long way. Yes, and I may not do these forever. I will not do these. I can say that with assurance. There will be a time and a place where my life has changed and I will be not doing these. But what a really cool time we are right now in the present, that I'm doing this and I enjoy it and you're there and you're getting help from it. Okay? So carpe diem is it's always been one of my big phrases. Seize the day, because the day will change. Okay? So yay for us all being here. Again, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Check out my website, destinationdecluttered.com. Join the mailing list. Find out about one-on-one paid coaching. Read some testimonials from some of my many one-on-one clients, yada, yada. Okay, that was like the commercial message. Now back to the program. All right. Now, Teresa says, I love playing Beat the Clock and using my timer. So yes, having fun with it. Yeah. Now, Becky R68 says, red geraniums remind me of my grandmother. Red geraniums remind me of my mother. And I, too, like those and think of my mother when I see them. But do I have them at my house? I don't. And it's okay. Now, Debbie says, I always feel better after listening to you. Here's why I think that may be. First of all, when I talk about the two voices in your head and your nervous system and how you're reacting, one of the voices in your head, I'll just describe it for me, but one of the voices in your head, at least from my perspective, is your nervous system fear, which is your nervous system fear is kind of up here and it's making you feel anxious. And that's the fear that some voice is whispering to you from the back of the car. Don't do that. Nobody's going to like you. You're broken. There's something wrong with you. Everybody else has their act together. Why can't you? That is the kind of voice you're used to listening to. You may feel better because, again, I'm the opposite, people, the opposite. I show up in what I like to call not just a coaching voice. I show up in the voice of what I call the co-pilot. So if you're the driver and you have a backseat, if you're in the driver's seat and there's a backseat driver trying to just tell you all the ways you're driving your life wrong, you may not even know that you have somebody sitting there invisibly in the co-pilot seat, in the passenger seat, who's there to help you. They're in the front seat to encourage you, to love you, to help you problem solve, to help you get to where you want to go. I call that voice in my head my co-pilot voice, because it's like hanging out. If I'm driving on a road trip, I want somebody next to me who's going to be cheering me on, helping me solve the problems, holding the map, reminding me to pull over for snacks. That is the energy that I show up in. And basically, it's in the energy of love and help. So it may feel different to you when you hang out with me versus hanging out with yourself, because you're not used to hearing a voice like that in your life, in your head, external, internal, all the places. And what I want to offer to you is you have a voice similar to mine in your head. Hopefully it doesn't have the weird Boston, Delaware, Pennsylvania accent that I have. But you have a voice of love and encouragement and care and help in your head as well. The reason you probably don't hear it as frequently is because your backseat driver is like a little kid that won't effing shut up. You know your backseat driver's talking where they're like, and then this, and then this, and then this. They talk quickly. They don't want to give you any way to pause and interrupt them, because as soon as you interrupt them, you have taken the power away from them and back to you. When you pause and you disrupt and you interrupt somebody who's talking and saying things you don't like, sometimes you need to do that. And many of us are not used to doing that, externally and internally. But when you say, excuse me, Traffic cop hand. Stop right there before you go any further. Stop right there. Please stop. Be quiet. I'm about to speak. And you know what I'm going to speak with? What you're saying is not helping me. When you begin to stop your backseat driver and talk back to them, but with love in your heart, it's a game changer. It really is. Now, you may not immediately, why would I talk to and I'm not saying externally, please, I'm just talking about inside, okay? Love for yourself it disrupt the negative talk in your head. Love yourself enough to stop it, to disrupt it. Disrupt the pattern of chatter in your head. That's why a lot of people listen to podcasts. It's somebody else's voice. Listens to music, you can sing along. It quiets that down. Your backseat driver voice, however, I will say, it's good to hear the words they use that make you feel bad, so you can realize that the opposite of those words will make you feel better. Okay? Now, Lauren says, we have a lot of kid stuff in our house. We have a small house, and it's 2 adults and 2 kids plus a small farm. Okay, so a couple of things, Lauren, from my perspective. I'm Gen X. I don't have kids. Never had them, never wanted them. So grateful I lived at a time where I didn't have to be forced to have kids. All that said, what I see from my personal and professional perspective as a decluttering life coach is that it is never too early to get your kids involved in decluttering. It is never too late to get anybody who's of an age involved in the decluttering and maintenance of a household. The way I coach is that I firmly believe that the house maintenance should not all be dumped on one person. And in many societies, including ours, that's typically the woman in the household. So I say, get your kids involved. 2 adults, one of those other adults should be involved in the decision making of what stays and what goes. The kids will learn this skill and not be so afraid to let go of things when they realize it's just an organic part of living. Think about it. If you have a farm, you make decisions on a daily basis. Let's pretend you're growing tomatoes. When you go out to your tomato garden, you make a decision of what tomato plants, like seedlings, are going to grow and which ones you don't want growing. Which ones you want to thrive and which ones aren't going to make it. And that is what you're doing. Basically, you could even say to your mate and your kids, we're going to weed the house. If you weed your garden, you keep what you want and you let go of the rest. It's the same thing in your home. Okay? So think of it from a farming perspective. There's so many times where you can't save all of the tomato plants. They will crowd each other out and none of them will flourish because they're all fighting for the same resources. It's the same thing with kids' toys. Saving them all doesn't allow for more new toys to come in, but also there are studies that have shown, and I'm not going to Google them right now, but there are studies that have shown that the more toys a kid has, the less they play with every single one of them and the more overwhelmed they have. So this is when we think about that quality versus quantity and not getting into lack of I only have this. Yes, notice they get overwhelmed with too many choices. So notice what's overwhelming your children. Notice how your children are being primed to get overwhelmed because there are too many choices. Too many choices, therefore, I feel like I'm doing a math problem in language. Therefore, too many choices is the root cause of overwhelm. So the opposite, if there are fewer choices, your kids may feel less overwhelmed. Now, that being said, yeah, I love it, Lauren. Yeah, I grew up actually not wanting kids, but, you know, the universe provides. What I offer to you is this, shit, I totally just lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me, though. Quality, quantity, something. It's all good. But what I offer is, even if you're home, every single one of you here, unless you live alone, I'm speaking to you. If you live with other people in a cluttered home, those other people should also be participating to an extent that feels more equitable in the decision making and the putting away of items and the maintenance, the decluttering and the maintaining of a decluttered home. Melissa is asking, will I be on tomorrow? I will be. Melissa with a 3 for an E. You are part of the email group, right? I highly recommend, and this is where I kind of lovingly reverse train you guys. There is a resource where you can find a wealth of information of when I'm here, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, all the way till Thursday, September 25th. It's the secret page. So short answer is yes, I will be on tomorrow. Long answer, though, is practice going to the secret page and finding out what time I'm going to be on, okay? And if anybody here doesn't have access to the secret page, how you get access to that secret page is to join the email group that you can join from my website, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? We live in an overwhelming society and world as it is. The human brain has not adapted to the sensory inputs that this current life has. It is a lot. We can't change everything about the external world, but man, it would benefit all of us to have a calm refuge from that chaos outside by not also having a chaos inside the 4 walls of our house. Okay? Now I love it. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is going to weed the house, both indoors and outdoors. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Lauren says, my best friend stuck with it and has her cats while I'm over here losing my mind. Let's help you find your mind, okay? I know that the momming is not easy. It is a hard job that doesn't get the credit it deserves, but you are not alone. You have us, right, people? This crew, this is kind of what we do in the email group. Okay, you're not alone. If you're losing your mind because you have too many things in your house, let's start and help you learn a process of decluttering. Okay? All right? And I offer to you, Debbie says, part of my problem is trying to do too much. Okay, notice I'm slowing this stuff down, slowing down and diagnosing and pulling things apart. Part of my problem is trying to do too much. So don't try to do too much. Do little bits at a time. Now, notice, Debbie Gen X, one of the reasons you have a circumstance that caused your laundry to pile up is because your washer went kaput. Okay? And I offer trying to get that caught up and then trying to clear out lower level in my office at the same time. You are trying. Everybody here, please don't try to do too much. It just doesn't work out and it will drain your charge like nobody's business. So please, many of you have the wisdom, all right? You've got the wisdom. I'm just helping you notice that you have the solutions to your problems. You're often saying them and you may not even hear it. Okay? Yay, Kat Roby. Kat Roby started earlier, just 54 minutes ago, with a 3-inch pile of her dad's mail. She just checked in. The pile is done. Okay? The pile is done. Yay, Kat Roby. Tasks assigned. Doing the things. And notice when Kat Roby does this for herself and she shares it, she is also sharing with you that if she can do it, you can too. Yeah. Alrighty. Aww. Okay. Lauren, notice there's some grief. Notice there's some sadness, losing your 18-year-old daughter. Yeah. So paying attention to the details of everyday life can seem pointless when you're faced with the biggest, scariest thing of all, which is death. And if somebody you know dies, it reminds you you're going to die too. Okay? Yeah. Barbara Dean, not going to sign up again. Not sure why I can't find the email. I've looked and not found it before. Let me give you a sec here. I might be able to help you with that. Barbara Dean, how about this? Send me an email. Send me an email. Let me see if I can do this really here. I don't want to take too much time away from everybody, but let me see. Barbara. There are bars in Barbara. I grew up not knowing that. Barbara. All right. Doesn't look like that. Oh, funny. So Barbara, send me an email, okay? Because I don't know if you're on the list. You may have been blocked or unsubscribed or something like that. Beth@destinationdecluttered.com. I just looked up somebody else. I think it's a cousin of mine. I'm like, oh, I didn't know she followed me. All right. Yeah. So Barbara, before signing up again, just shoot me an email and I can look for your stuff. And then I may say to you, yes, sign up again and I can watch for it. Okay. Yeah. All righty. This is good. SBB is what Kat Roby calls it. Scheduled Beth Blinders. The next time I'm doing a TikTok live, even this, everybody right now, okay? Again, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live, I'm going to be live on YouTube in about 3 minutes or so. I just have to shift gears here and I'll be on there. Look at your own schedule right now. Now, you know your schedule better than I do, and I might know my schedule better than you know my schedule. But what I will offer is, look at the success Kat Roby had about using the time that I have carved out to use that time block as something that she has gotten into the habit of decluttering when I do a live. Feel free to do that from noon on when we do it when we're on YouTube. Okay? You don't need to do it from an hour. You don't need to do it for an hour. You can do it for as long as you can, but it can help you get started to have company. To know that there's somebody there, if you get stuck, you can ask questions. Okay? So, oh, it's so funny. I was using the wrong thing here. All righty. So, I'm going to start to wind up here. Kat Roby, now I get to clear out my hall closet and toiletries. I'm excited. Notice, when you do these things, it can start a positive spin on something you used to think was negative. Okay? Yeah, and Lauren, I will just share with you, because you're saying, I think it's easier to stay busy to cope, but that means we end up with stuff piling up everywhere. Much like we said earlier, and Lauren, I will offer this to you too. And it's so funny because I just am seeing the way your name is written, and it just reminds me of my Boston accent. What I will offer to you is this. This TikTok live is being recorded and it gets uploaded to our to my YouTube channel. Earlier in this YouTube or this TikTok live, somebody else was talking about feeling grief but trying not to feel it, kind of tamping it down and doing other things. Trust me when I say this. This is going to sound gross, but it's kind of like throwing up. It's keeping it down, doesn't feel good. Sometimes the best thing you can do on so many levels is to just let it out. You won't be crying forever. You will be grieving, but every time you grieve, it will be a little bit less. But the more you bottle it up, as you can see, it's not working. It's having not so great consequences. Okay? Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So good stuff, people. Now, I'm going to sign off right now. Again, Barbara, Beth@destinationdecluttered.com. Just shoot me an email. I can look you up in the system. Okay? But right now, couple of things. The main thing is, if you like what you're hearing and you want to tune in, I have a schedule for the next 2 weeks and beyond of when I do a TikTok live for an hour and a YouTube live for an hour. We also have decluttering parties. I also have one-on-one paying clients, and my calendar is open to get a few more if you're interested in that. All of that information is more easily accessible to you if you are part of the email group at destinationdecluttered.com. Just go to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, put your email address in the little form, promise you're not a robot, hit enter, and you're good. Okay? This has been really great. It has been really enjoyed meeting you all. Why don't you head over, practice changing the station, and come over to YouTube. We're going to be there for an hour or two. Okay? See you guys later.